Welcome back, Full Steam. Now on the program, we're still talking about developments in the economy, but we're talking about agribusiness now in the country, and I'm being joined by the Proposal Development Coordinator at the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture in Ibadan, Oyo State, Dr. Christina Rowan de Nowina. Good morning to you, and thank you for coming on the program.
Good morning, Harry. Thank you so much for having us.
Well, Bosun actually mentioned it, how you had to leave 2 hours, much earlier than you would ordinarily do because of the traffic and the rest of it. But one interesting thing I know that's been going on is how agriculture has now turned into a business for a lot of people. But how much have people embraced agriculture as a business ever since the campaign started?
Well, so just to give you a background, IITA is the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture. We are an international research for development organization, so our mandate is to work on providing research and knowledge that will help rural farmers. So we have actually been in Nigeria since 1967. So we're having our 50th year anniversary next year. So please be on the lookout for some interesting activities. But we are actually in 20 countries, or around 20 countries in Africa. And we work in many areas in terms of aspects of agribusiness. And everything from crop improvement to soil fertility and natural resource management, plant health, and also agribusiness and socioeconomics. So this is what we're now getting back to.
So you talked about interesting activities. What could you just talk us through some of those activities, especially with regards the areas you already mentioned, trying to encourage the growth of agribusiness in the country?
Well, so we know that Nigeria is a huge country in Africa with a huge population, but there is also unemployment, especially for the youth segment, with the youth between 15 and 34. I think more than 50% of the youth are unemployed. And I know this is a problem, a growing problem, and also not only in Nigeria, but in the rest of Africa. So, but on the other hand, we also need to improve productivity. We have a growing population worldwide that we need to feed. So if we can have improved agricultural practices, improved productivity, more businesses, we can also possibly provide employment for these youth. So it actually started a couple of years back. Our Director General, Dr. Antonia Sanginga, we have youth corpers, as many organizations in Nigeria has after their schooling. And we just realized that there was a big problem for them. They couldn't get jobs. So we sort of started in a pilot phase, getting youth involved. And when you talk about agriculture, a lot of people think digging.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hoe, cutlass.
Cutlass, yeah. Manual labor.
Strong, serious manual labor.
However, modern agriculture is tractors. It's GPS. It's apps. It's service provision. Yeah. So this is what we want to convey, to create these business opportunities and also create this employment. So what we've done in our program, we started with a smaller group of youth and we changed their mindset. Because like we just said, some of them think, oh no, it's digging. But actually, it's modern agriculture we're talking about.
So you make it more fun to, be in that sector, to be a farmer. You make it more fun to be a farmer, because being a farmer also means putting a few, naira and kobo in your pocket, as well as being relevant in the society.
Absolutely. So we train them not only in terms of changing their mindset, making agriculture look attractive, training on business skills. A lot of our youth don't have the business skills that they need to be able to actually start up their businesses. And also, of course, in the technical aspects. But not only in crop production, also in value addition, soy milk processing. We have some of our youth, making tidbit snacks, making soy milk for sale. Even in terms of making agriculture very modern, we have youth using drones, with cameras to assess productivity. This is modern agriculture. And we see this as a future for Nigeria. In terms of, so we started in Nigeria on a pilot approach. I mentioned that we're an international research organization, so obviously we get support from various organizations. We've been hugely supported by the previous Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Akin Adesina. Also, of course, by IFAD, the President of IFAD, Dr. Kanayo Nwanze. And this has now grown into pilot approaches in many countries in Africa.
So for, looking at the support, local and mostly local and international support, has it been also, getting funds easily to support research? Because it is your motto is research to nourish Africa. So how much research has been done? Because apart from trying to encourage more people, more youths especially, to take up farming as a way of employment and also as a way of providing, the much needed food and food security, how much research has been done?
A lot. I mean, I mentioned IITA has been here for 50 years. And we are also part of a larger consortium called the CGIAR, which has as their mandate to improve livelihoods of farmers, smallholder farmers. And there are 15 centers around the world. So there's been a lot of research in many aspects of how to improve agriculture. For example, we have developed many technologies that help farmers and agriculture productivity. Pest management, AFLA-safe, a technology that can reduce the aflatoxins that are a big problem in many of the crops that we see here in Africa. Not only a problem in terms of consumption, but also a problem in terms of being able to export. So if we can reduce these export barriers, we are creating business.
Yeah, because there are a lot of countries that have refused, crops coming from Nigeria because of some of those issues that you've mentioned. So, well, how quickly have these research, helped with regards improving the amount of food crops or food stuff that's actually exported from Nigeria?
So actually, we have many activities on the ground as we speak about rolling out AFLA-safe, this bio-control that will help the issues of aflatoxins in grains. So that is on the ground as we speak. We have actually taken a slightly unique approach. We have a business incubation platform at IITA, which serves to be like the clearinghouse between our technologies and actually private sector engagement.
So how many youth agripreneurs are engaged with, is the IITA engaged with right now?
Well, it's growing as we speak. More likely in Nigeria, more than 300, and then we have also in DRC, we have in Zambia, we have in Tanzania, we have in Uganda, we have in Kenya, and probably starting up very soon in Ghana.
So apart from the fact that young people don't like, thinking, when they think about farming, they think about all the hardships that they have to endure and all the rest. So 300 is a very small number. What is IITA doing to ensure that, this number grows from where it is right now?
Yeah, very good question. Actually, I mentioned the Honourable Minister. So of course, we were working very closely with
Dr.
Adesina. And now that he's moved on to the African Development Bank, the interest in this is still there. So it is now actually going to be transformed into a Pan-African program called Enable Youth. So there is a huge demand for creating employment for youth through agribusiness. So we are hoping that it will take off. This is on a country-by-country basis. Obviously, a lot of countries I mentioned earlier, beyond Nigeria, are realizing the issue of youth unemployment. And if they can, create a win-win situation, also improving crop productivity, it's a really good way forward. So there are many other countries that are also interested in this youth program that will be coming in the countries. Actually, I think it was yesterday or the day before that Dr. Sanginga, the father of the youth program, was in front of the National Assembly here in Abuja discussing this youth program and the agripreneur scheme, how to take it forward.
We're actually in Lagos, so it was in Abuja, that's the nation's capital, where that conversation happened. Because I was actually going to ask how much conversations have actually happened between the IITA and the Federal Capital Territory with the present Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Aldo Ogbe. How much conversations have actually gone on, especially with regards, focusing more on agriculture, because everybody is talking about diversifying the economy, and agriculture has been, pointed out as being the most lucrative at this time. So in terms of looking at the policies, framework, and the rest of it, how much have there been any conversations between Abuja and the IITA?
Absolutely. They started originally with Dr. Adesina, now they've moved on. the National Assembly here this week, and this new AFDB project that is coming. And we also have many projects together with the federal ministry. So discussions are ongoing constantly how to find a way, the best way of dealing with this issue and creating that win-win situation.
What about mechanizing agriculture? Because that's, you know, that's another conversation that's, you know, has been on for a very long time. A lot of youths are like, you know, I want to be in farming. I want to become a farmer myself, but I feel that it's just too much hard work. So how quickly are we going to see mechanized farming embraced by Nigerians that will, you know, kick off that much needed growth we need in the agricultural sector?
Again, a very good question, and again something that we feel very, very strongly is needed very much here in Africa in general, because, you know, like I said before, modern farming is not digging and hoes and cutlasses. Modern farming is tractors and mechanized procedures and processes. So again, something we have on the horizons. We are putting it even stronger effort into making that happen. It's part of this big African development discussion on including it there, because otherwise, like you said, how can you attract youth unless, you know, if they don't have a mechanized option. And they are also looking at smart tractors. I had a discussion a few days ago about a company that has a smaller tractor that is actually connected to the cloud in terms of providing services and input. You can track it. So we are on the ball in terms of that, and we're definitely want to take that even further to make sure that this technology and the mechanization aspects get fully included in the agriculture for Nigeria and Africa.
So do you have a timeline? Do you have like a timeline for when you want to achieve all of this?
We have a strategy till 2012. Obviously, things take time. 2020, sorry. Things take time, and it also depends on funding. So going back to that, so the more support we can gather, the more information that can be out there, the faster we can move and get this to the people that need it.
Dr. Christina Rowin de Nowina, thank you so much for joining me on the program this morning and shedding more light on agribusiness in Nigeria.
Thank you so much.
Dr. Christina Rowin de Nowina is a Proposal Development Coordinator at the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, Ibadan, Oyo State. We'll take a quick break now on the program, and Business Morning continues after this. Stay with us.